3 Kundalini Yoga techniques to deal with overwhelm. Hi, everybody. Salimah here. Overwhelm is that feeling where so much is happening in your mind, lots of inputs, and not quite sure which path to take. And it happens to all of us. So if this is you, don't worry, you're in good company, myself included. Overwhelm is just part of, I think it's just part of life, and not to dismiss it, but rather to say, let's find a way that all of us can use, a simple technique that all of us can use to help ourselves through overwhelm. So if you found yourself here, it's because you found Kundalini Yoga really interesting and effective. And so glad that you're here. And my job is to make sure that you have lots of techniques and lots of different go-to resources so that you can get through whatever life is serving you. So here we go. 3 techniques to work through overwhelm. And they all are based on a similar foundation, and that is mantra, sound, and mudra, hand positions. And you'd be surprised at how very effective these things are. So first of all, sound, the sound vibration we make when we are talking, when we are chanting, when we are singing, all of those vibratory frequencies have the ability to soothe the nervous system. If you think about all the cultures and all the different spiritual practices around the world, almost all of them include chanting or singing of some kind. So that tells us something about our innate human experience. Sound is soothing. It's soothing to the nervous system. And so when we do that, we have the added benefit of soothing ourselves, not just the mind, but the entire body system. So that's the frequency and the vibration of using mantra. The second one is mudra. And our hand positions, mudras, are ways of connecting energy from our bodies and connecting it to different aspects of the brain. And that's really fascinating. And we know this to be true because when we touch something hot, we get information from the world and we drop it because it's hot. Same thing when something's cold or when we're touching someone that we love, we know that energy is being transferred through our hands and the receptors are in our brains. And so that makes this combination of mantra and mudra really effective. So here's the first one, and this is a practice called Kirtan Kriya. For Kirtan Kriya, what you'll be doing is using different sound vibrations and touching each finger to the thumb with each of those sounds. And so let me show you how that works. The first sound, sa, as you touch your index finger and thumb together, sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. These sounds in the sacred language of Gurmukhi mean universe, life, death, rebirth. And for me, as I think about those sounds and those words, first of all, the sounds are communicating to the divine. It is an ancient sound that is allowing us as humans to speak to the universe. This is the sacred language of Gurmukhi. When I translate that into English, which is my home language, universe, life, death, rebirth, I have a sense of a pattern clearing. I have a sense of calling myself into presence. And so when you reach a moment of overwhelm or situation has become a little bit more than you can handle, that's where I would pull out this one. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Join me. Sa, ta, na, ma. 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 Inhale deeply, squeeze your hands in. And exhale, release. So that is a very small component. We just did that for about a minute. If you are somewhere where you feel uncomfortable, a crowded little elevator, if you're crossing a bridge or you're on a subway and any of those things make you nervous or anxious or overwhelmed, that's a really good mantra to keep going. If you have the freedom to chant it out loud, great. If you don't have the freedom to chant it out loud, then just pressing your fingers together and using the mantra in your mind is a really powerful way to just help yourself get through that scenario and then come back to an equilibrium. Now, again, that's a small little piece of the bigger meditation called Kirtan Kriya. If you're looking for the full expression, which is really interesting, something that is fascinating, has incredible benefits for clearing your mind, for enhancing your memory, for clearing the subconscious mind. The full one is included in a video I have called the Power Pack. So if you're curious about Kirtan Kriya, I highly recommend go and find the Power Pack here on my channel, YogaVision Online. In fact, I will link it below so that you have access to it and go and check that out. So if you need something short and small, do this one. And if you're looking for a longer practice, something that you can do before bed or in the morning, Kirtan Kriya is your go-to. Okay, so that's tip number one. Let's build on this a little bit more. And this time we'll use the same experience of touching our thumb and fingers together. So the mudra stays the same, but the mantra changes. And the mantra this time is in English. So in this kind of situation, I would recommend this one for a situation where there's conflict, a situation where you feel that there is an injustice, or where you need to do a little bit of self-soothing. And you might be in a experience with somebody else who you can't control. And we know that we can't control the other, but we can come back to ourselves. And that's what we're building on is, who am I? What is my truth? And how can I work with that truth? Okay. So same concept, same principle. This time the mantra changes. And in this case, peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Let's do that together. Peace begins with me. 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 Last few rounds. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Inhale deeply, squeeze, tense, and hold. And let it go. Exhale. Notice how you feel. Notice how those words connect internally and how it may help you to reset your compass in terms of what's the priority, what do I need to do in this situation, and how can I walk myself through with grace and knowing myself. So give that give that a go. You notice that I closed my eyes and I was doing it as a meditation. You can do this again in public. You can do it when you're walking. You can do it when you're in the grocery store, anywhere where it is where you feel the requirement to bring this on. If you can involve your hands, great. If you can involve saying it out loud, great. And if that's not possible, you can keep that mantra moving in your mind, or you can keep your fingers moving. Okay, so it's very versatile. It's just remembering that you have these tools at your disposal and just to go and use it. So that's number 2, and that is more about keeping your steadiness when there's something going on around you. The third one I have used personally. It has come to me while I was walking, taking my daily walks. And this one is about self-forgiveness. And the pause and the breath is just that. Sometimes we give ourselves a really hard time for mistakes that we've made or experiences that are really painful and that we're giving ourselves a hard time about. And so this one I found to be very uplifting, puts all those things in perspective, and really is a call for self-compassion. And if you're doing any work around inner child, or any work around shame, this is a really good experience so that you can dial that stuff down, acknowledge that it's happening, acknowledge what you're feeling, and at the same time, let yourself off the hook. That doesn't mean that if you owe an apology, you don't do it. It doesn't mean that you are letting go of your responsibility or accountability. This is between you and the person who gives yourself a hard time. So you and you, me and me. Same principles apply. And this time it goes like this. I bless myself. I release myself. I forgive myself. I am myself. Do it with me. I bless myself. I release myself. I forgive myself. I am myself. I bless myself. I release myself. I forgive myself. I am myself. I bless myself. I release myself. I forgive myself. I am myself. I bless myself. I release myself. I forgive myself. I am myself. I bless myself. I release myself. I forgive myself. I am myself. I bless myself. I release myself. I forgive myself. I am myself. I bless myself. I release myself. I forgive myself. I am myself. I bless myself. I release myself. I forgive myself. I am myself. I bless myself. I release myself. I forgive myself. I am myself. Inhale deeply, squeeze, tense, hold. And exhale, let it go. Notice how you feel. Notice what parts of your body may have settled, what may have become activated. And then think about what kind of situations you might want to use this for. Sometimes when I'm in the shower, I'm thinking about things and planning my day, and something crosses my mind, and I use that clearing statement to allow me to put that in its proper perspective, whatever thought or emotion has come through, or even a memory. And so I welcome you to try all of these, to give them all a go. Come back to this video a few times and really give yourself a chance to practice, because when you start to practice things often, they become second nature. And that is how body memory works. When you do something often, it allows you to have the opportunity to call it up outside of this video experience when you need it. Okay, so go ahead and practice it often, come back here often, share it with a friend, practice it with a friend, use it as a way of connecting with yourself, with somebody else, and then notice how the overwhelm starts to die down. The places where we give ourselves a hard time, that's where we need a little bit of relief. And I think that's true for all of us right now in this collective moment in history and in time. So that's one aspect that I wanted to share with you. And the second one is, as you were practicing or as you go out into the world and utilize these techniques, notice if different words come to you. And if different words come to you, please drop them below. Please share with us your experiences, what came up, what different words you chose, what came to your mind, what is it that you need, so that as a collective, we can see how everybody is using these different techniques and also what are the benefits that are coming out of it. Try it out. Let me know. I'm excited to hear from all of you. Put your comments below if you found this helpful, and I hope you did. Give it a like, give it a share, subscribe, send it to some friends who would be happy to have this. And then notice how not only do you feel better, but you have collectively, together, all of us have collectively increased the level of self-awareness and peace that we can offer to ourselves and each other. My name is Salimah, yoga therapist. It's always a pleasure. And as always, check out the link in my bio. There's lots of ways that we can work together. Teacher training, that's 12 months of this kind of work and this kind of technique. There is Harmony Within, which is a group membership program with all my new videos. All my feature-length videos are there. Numerology consults, and then lots of digital stuff. So check out the links in bio. I am excited always to be here with you. Lots of love. And until next time, peace begins with me.